On an unassuming intersection just outside the city of Vandalia sits a historic home. The structure has long been a landmark of the Victorian architecture of southwestern Michigan, popularized by the Quakers who settled the region in the 1800s. We go inside the Bonine House and learn about the Underground Railroad.
The Underground Railroad started here in Cassopolis in the 1840s, as soon as Quakers arrived and freedom seekers were running this way. And we're actually a junction on the Underground Railroad. There are two lines that run. One line runs from the Illinois line, and one runs from is called the Quaker line. And it runs from Kentucky into Ohio, into Indiana, and into Michigan. It is said that 1,500 freedom seekers came through this area on their way to freedom.
As we've learned throughout history, the Underground Railroad was neither a railroad or underground. It was a network of people working together, helping enslaved men, women, and children escape slavery and gain their freedom by traveling north.
We're sitting in the James E. Bonine and Sarah Bogue home. They were station masters on the Underground Railroad. And he did not help freedom seekers in this house here. They were across the street in the carriage house on the third floor. And that's where he gave food, shelter, and clothing to freedom seekers before they would go on to their next station.
When I'm here at the Bonine House, I feel like I can just feel the presence of James and Sarah and all of the people that were here with them. If I go in the carriage house, there's a real feeling in the carriage house of being in a place of importance. Modest and humble and so big at the same time, so important.
Down the street from the Bonine House is the Bogue home, a well-known station along the Underground Railroad. Station masters Stephen and Hannah Bogue sheltered freedom seekers here in their attic. It's just one of the places visitors can stop to come up close with the past. Throughout Cass County, there are a total of 20 sites that are part of a driving tour that tells the story of the Underground Railroad in the area. Visitors can see, stand, and experience the places the brave men, women, and children once traveled. The tour is part of the National Underground Railroad Network to Freedom and offers an almost hands-on approach to learning the history, a history the community is now proud to share.
So there was a history of not talking about it. And that history of not talking and not speaking about it carried over into following generations. I'm happy that now we have the ability and the freedom to speak about our very own history. And when we do that, you know, it shines a light on it and it helps people understand it, because when you understand your history, you might be able to help direct the future.
There is something special about our area and our history because of the cooperation of all of the various factions, the Free Blacks, the Freedom Seekers, and the Quakers, coming together and showing each other that, showing each other the best of humanity.
Here in Cass County, the story of the Kentucky Raid of 1847 demonstrates just how the community came together. On the night of August 20th, 13 slave catchers from Kentucky came into the county to hunt fugitive slaves, as they were called at the time, who were in the area. Breaking into small groups, the Kentuckians captured 9 of the freedom seekers as they moved from farm to farm. Word of the kidnapping quickly spread. Soon, the 13 slave catchers were surrounded by an estimated group of 300 people, including white and black abolitionists and Quakers. Outnumbered and believing the law was on their side, the Kentuckians agreed to stand trial in Cassopolis. The case was tried by Ebenezer McElwain, a Berrien County commissioner and a conductor on the Underground Railroad. Citing the fact that the Kentuckians did not have the right paperwork, the 9 captives were released and continued their journey to freedom with 34 others. The slave catchers returned home empty-handed. This story and others are being preserved and shared by the dedicated men and women of the Underground Railroad Society of Cass County.
The history of the Underground Railroad was being lost. There wasn't anybody here telling the story. They came in and they helped create this place where people could get the information of their family history that was being lost.
Slavery and the story is difficult. It's still an excitement, a moment of pride for people, and excitement to learn about this huge history right here, and also be in the buildings where these things happen.
It's important history because it tells how a diverse community can come together and live and respect each other. And so I think that's one of the great legacies of the Underground Railroad here in Cass County.
Now, many towns throughout our state played a role in the Underground Railroad, with Detroit being the last stop before freedom in Canada. On the Detroit River stands the International Memorial to the Underground Railroad.